normalized. It's like, oh, well, every woman has a story about how they had to walk home with their keys. Like,
and
it's
like, do we
normal.
need to hear it again and again?
And
it's
the more we talk about it, the more we actually normalize it. So she was just like, it's counterproductive to tell victim stories.
Yeah, that's really
but
true.
but then it was like,
how do you,
well, that's the thing. It's so hard. And then when we were asked to give solutions, like, how can we educate men on what they're...
I think that's the hardest. I think
really
that's the
hard.
part,
It's because it's easy to
it's
easy
like,
to dwell on a problem, but it's really difficult to come up with a solution.
well, I think it's also because like the second that you call someone out on something that has, you know, that they shouldn't be saying is, or like that, you know, has some sort of problematic side to it, they instantly go, oh, and like men are so good at being defensive. Men will like, I feel like it's quite, and like,
but it's also like you don't want it to become like men versus women too. And the other issue is that we didn't have any men involved.
Like, you know, it's like we're not trying to like have like by going like, hey, what you said upsets me because of this and this. Like, I'm not having a go at you and I don't want to scream at you. Can you just listen?
I think it's
like,
just
that's
within
really...
us as well. Like, I think we're really clever beings. I think we're way smarter than men. We give birth. We're like beautiful beings. Like, we just need to just ignore the bullshit and just like, by us like just exuding femininity, like eventually, and ignoring and like having low self-esteem.
Yeah, I think you're so right in saying that, like,
ignoring dickheads.
I think
really
it's
powerful
like
in that.
Silencing them by just ignoring them and being
And
like,
just
I
not
don't
tolerating
if
it.
you call me a bitch, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk home and go to bed. Like, it's not bother
like, you're
me. Like,
literally not
but
contributing.
if you're getting
anything
murdered and like, if that's becoming an epidemic of like men raping and
well, do you know what
murdering women,
the
that's not
scariest
okay.
thing about that statistic is that women are most likely to be murdered by someone they know. So either like a relative or a partner. And that's actually what's really scary about the situation is, it's like the Eurydice case is so scary, but
you know
the random boogeyman in the corner is actually much less common than an abusive boyfriend or husband.
Yeah. I've been there.
I think like
I think we all have, and that's the scary thing about it.
I think that's in us. So when I look back at me, I didn't have much self-esteem. Like,
I just thought it was normal.
impressionable. Yeah, I thought it was
like,
normal.
oh, well, I'm PMSing, so he's yelling and throwing shit at me.
I need to get on the pill. I'm so unstable.
And it's still like, because I guess like societal standards, society in general is based or like structured under the terms of a man and a male gaze.
Well, that's
so,
the thing. We live in a patriarchal society. That's the reality of the situation.
And it's hard to like, it's that thing of like, if you like someone, you want them to like validate you in a way, but it's also like hard to like I don't know. I think a lot of people, like a lot of women, I think, who are maybe like less sure of themselves would definitely find it harder.
Do you know what's crazy about it though? No, this is the crazy thing is like I've always thought of myself as like a smart, independent, powerful woman because I was raised that way by my mum. And yet I found myself in a very abusive relationship. And I never thought that I would be that girl. Because I was like, only weak people would end up being manipulated. But
I
that's
was
not the
like
case.
put in hospital by someone and I had to get an operation and stuff, and I was just so embarrassed. I was like, now I'm a victim. Now these people are coming to me and being like, so now you've been in a domestic incident. And like, it was on my record, and it was I didn't even care that I had been physically hurt. I was just so embarrassed.
That you're
I didn't imagine it was me.
Yeah, because you always think
it doesn't look like
me.
Yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck is this?
So I think, and I don't think it has anything to do with being with being lacking confidence or anything. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think it's just like manipulation is multi-layered, and men can do it to women. Women can do it to men.
Why is it happening to the men as well? Like, when you look at that problem.
And you know what? I think the whole like Eurydice Dixon thing. I think the reason that so many because I don't know a single girl that isn't like fucking so angry about this. And I think it's because it's so like relatable. Like she is so relatable. She was our age. She was like, you know, like doing everything she could to like get a career off the ground, working hard, like independent, strong. You know, like, and it's like I can relate with like her her life. Like I can relate to, you know, wanting to put in like the late nights and work hard.
And it's like terrifying.
For fuck's sake. And the fact, and she had a boyfriend. Like she was in like a loving relationship.
She just messaged him.
Not fair.
And it's like, that could have been, literally, that could have been me. Like,
I hate the fact that that's on my mind a lot of the time, and particularly when I travel. And it's because my mum gets so overly upset about me being in a place that you know, she doesn't know where I am. Like when that whole thing happened and I didn't have anywhere to stay, she was literally like yelling at me, being like, get on the next flight home, I don't want you over there on your own. And then the other night when I went out with you, I was like, okay, it's a bit sketch out on the street, but like, stop thinking the worst.
Yeah, I feel like we're all kind of paranoid
now, you know,
at the moment.
Yeah, but that paranoia is real. When you're in a city, like I used to live in deep Bed-Stuy, and that was terrifying.
In New York,
it was
Bed-Stuy
really scary. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't cute.
No,
it wasn't gentrified.
my first
serious.
Airbnb was in Bed-Stuy, and I freaked out, and I like called them. That's how I ended up living with those girls in East Williamsburg.
So terrified.
Because I was like, oh my god, you need to give me a refund. This is not what I was up for, what I signed up for. And yeah, that was really scary. And you know, you kind of kick yourself for like thinking that way, because there's
like, what's wrong with me? But
and there's certain trigger signs as well that you get annoyed with yourself. You're like, okay, I'm seeing a certain kind of person in a certain kind of street. Am I being overly judgmental, or am I being?
We are, and it's also real.
Yeah,
everybody's valid. Like, we're from a very privileged place, so it's not going to take that much to scare us. We're not used to that.
Got it pretty,
you know.
easy.
But then at the same time, it's a city, and shit does go down.